Our main purpose is to make the toolkit accessible for as many as people as possible, to unlock leadership, self-leadership from within, or hostmanship to facilitate a supportive work environment for as many people as possible, and not only for the designated leaders as of today. Because if you can create positivity in your work environment and in the mindsets of people, why should you just limit it that to a very niche little amount of people? I think overall, I believe people can be more humble towards one and the other. Often what holds our back is that we are uncertain about situations, or fearful, or maybe having our judgments because things are different as we are supposed to perceive them. And this really affects our mindset, to be more limiting in your beliefs about yourself or others. But also, by that belief, you're not supporting to a supportive work environment again. So it's kind of an ongoing loop. You know, if you do not have a supportive mindset that helps you, you will not be supportive towards your work environment either. And as of today, we work in very complex work environments with people from various cultures, people from various work backgrounds, educational backgrounds, from various national cultures even. And so this demands a lot from us to be even more conscious about the potential that people have in themselves, and to go beyond your maybe inner fears or skepticism or judgments, and to reach out for the synergy you can reach within one and the other by simply unlocking it. And it's not so difficult to do that. And it's even contagious to unlock potential of other people and to empower them. It's really nice to do. I studied quite a bit sociology. I have a master's degree in business anthropology and in international relations. I'm a political scientist as well, an entrepreneur. I did all these beautiful things. But after my education, there was a big black hole for me, because in my education they didn't really teach me how to tap into my potential. What is my talent? Who is Jessica? In which environment do I resonate best? How can I create this environment for myself? How can I engage with people from different cultures and backgrounds, and create your own future by that? I was following the path of, the conventional path of being a political scientist, working, for example, for the United Nations. And there I figured I didn't fit the organizational structure at all, which is quite bureaucratic and hierarchical, right? It's headquarters New York. So because of that, I had one simple task I had to do every day, day in, day out. And I didn't have any freedom or liberty to explore what was possible more than just executing that simple task, which was not so simple for me, because that specific task was something I was not good at. So I felt really confused, sitting there with all these beautiful diplomas and people cheering me. And I was getting into a downward spiral for being really fearful and making mistakes. And because of that, I was making more mistakes. And I did not tap into this environment of innovation and new possibilities to work and to collaborate. There was no one there that was hosting me in that, into tapping into my potential, to create a supportive environment where you could ask for help or exchange resources, or maybe even migrate in tasks what you were doing, because my potential was not writing newsletters, for example. And this is exactly what I had to do in that environment. Later on, I was working at a business school, a private business school, very highly prestigious in the Netherlands, as a lecturer. And I was very honored to be in that position. But also there, in their work culture, there was a lot of competition. There was no peer-to-peer learning environment for the lecturers sharing their knowledge, because they were all freelancers. And I was not able to change that, unfortunately. I didn't feel empowered to do so, and I felt quite isolated. So from that moment on, I started to work in co-work spaces where I met other entrepreneurs and freelancers that wanted to make a difference in the world. But also there, it was not possible to turn the environment into something collaborative, supportive. I saw a lot of entrepreneurs being stressed about deadlines or making their business work. So I started to apply these sessions that I created myself on the spot, that were influenced by improvisation theater, by business anthropology, by all the knowledge that I'd gained about international relations so far, and also business skills. And there were 20-minute sessions right before the lunch, and they became a huge success because they were providing people energy, they were engaging people, people's work and tasks of people that have never met before. And because of that, they felt like ability to share resources, networks and skills that you do not have to develop yourself if somebody really likes to do a certain task, right? You can exchange skills in that sense. And that really transformed the whole environment. After these sessions, people were talking with one and the other. There were new businesses that arose from these sessions. People find new team members, they found investors. Everything was possible because of these sessions. People really created their future. They seized and created their own opportunities and made them work. And from that moment on, I've continued building this toolkit with other people that provide these sessions as of today, 90 practitioners. And so I feel really happy that finally I could connect the dots and contribute to a supportive mindset and supportive work environment for people to flourish, to feel more vital and meaningful in their work, and to also work in a more effective, innovative way just because of that, simply by doing what they're really good at and feel passionate about it. I came to realize that this space where people worked individually or as a team didn't necessarily needed a leader. There was no such thing as lacking leadership because people were pretty self-determined in their ways. But what was lacking was hostmanship, someone that could provide a positive vibe, connect people and make them fall in love with one and the other, as I often use as a metaphor. And I'm sure there's a lot of business partners that came around, that arose because of these sessions. As of today, I really believe hosting a work environment, hosting positive mindsets that are thinking in the possible things, tapping into abundance, trusting people rather than feeling fearful, and build on that is key to make anything work. You can have the most intellectual people in one room that know everything and have the best networks, but if they don't feel safe, if they don't feel supported, if they don't feel an identity in the group of people, and cannot resonate with their talents, and therefore not having a positive mindset that supports them in what they are capable of, intelligence is nothing. So in this moment of time, H.O.S.T Transform has been validating and developing what we call a human-centered process innovation toolkit that provides people the capability to develop leadership skills for themselves and for their environment, to empower them. And it's really beautiful because this toolkit came about not only by my insights, but also people that were applying it in their work environment. So we had this constant feedback loop of information, of how to improve things, how to tweak them to specific work backgrounds of people that were different from mine. So because of that, we could really make this holistic toolkit that is applicable for everyone in any time, in any work context. So at this moment of time, we have trained over 90 H.O.S.T Transform practitioners that are a community and learn from one and the other, and are active in the fields of multinationals, of non-governmental organizations, of public organizations, but also people that launch their own empowerment projects around the world, like in Brazil. I've trained people in India, entrepreneurs, but also in the Netherlands, working with refugees, for example. Because this is maybe a very good example. Refugees are out of their context. They're having a lack of identity because everything is different from their original background, where they used to work and live, of course. And now they have to build everything from scratch. So more than anyone, you can host them in tapping to their own resources, their own potential, by creating their future again. And I think this is maybe even a beautiful metaphor for entrepreneurs that launch their new businesses, or people working in a new work context, or want to do something different in their life. You have to really create your new identity by resonating with your talents, with your passion, with the mission you have in life, and how can you create your own workflow that works for you. Do you want to work from 9 till 5, or do you want to work in different hours that really works for you? I think this is really key in order to really fulfill your dreams as well. Some concrete examples of people applying the H.O.S.T method or the toolkit in their own work context is, for example, Alice. She's an interim manager, and she doesn't really love the conventional way of human resource management anymore, by placing people on tasks, and this is what they represent. She really resonates with the principle that people can continuously learn and develop while working, while being active on the spot, working in their organizations, instead of working according a certain profile. Yeah, because of that, she is providing more and more sessions in various organizations, and she accelerates constant innovation from within people, and not so much because of certain structures being posed on this person. Another example is, for example, Annemieke. She's a lecturer at the University of Applied Science in the Netherlands, and she wants to create this peer-to-peer participative learning environment for students, because as it turned out to be in researches as well, if students participate during lectures and make their homework and all that, the quality of the work improves, and also the opportunities for them to find a job that resonates with them too. They become better professionals. So to create this participative study, learning and work environment for them gives them opportunities to tap into their potential and to find the career of their dreams, or maybe even to create it themselves by being more entrepreneurial. And this toolkit really, as she called it, redeveloped her as being a lecturer and as a trainer. And as of today, she also gets other business opportunities beyond the organization that she's working for as an innovation coach, which is really cool. So she's creating her own future by that. Another example is Ton. He's an executive coach and works in change management almost all of his life. And he mentions that it's no longer about change, but about constant innovation, that organizations are open for that and embrace the uncertainty. And he states that H.O.S.T Transform provides more clarity for people in an uncertain future. And I think that's a really beautiful statement, that people feel they can hold on to something and no longer feel alone in that process. Another example is Eric. And Eric is an advisor of Dutch ministries about implementing a policy for citizen participation. And he stated that most of the civil servants are still really keen on writing policies, and there's nothing wrong with writing a policy. But if you want to invite citizens to create their own neighborhood or to create their own future, you also need some leadership there. You need to show them how it can be done. You need to host them in that process to feel intrinsically motivated to make a difference in their own lives or in that of others. So he's applying these sessions throughout the meetings and the implementation process to really activate those civil servants to move beyond the policy writing and also to connect with the citizens in the field or whatever stakeholder they have to be engaged with. So another example is Miriam. She's an emerging fertility coach, and she feels really more empowered by seeing that it's possible that she is able to unlock energy and a vital work environment that is more meaningful for people and leads to better results in only 20 minutes. And because she is seeing her making a change right in front of her eyes, she actually mentioned the toolkit to be quite addictive to apply, because it gives her a boost of energy as well and a lot of confidence that she can make a difference in this small amount of time with people that she never had met before and that are so grateful and showing a lot of gratitude after the session. People that join the sessions provided by host practitioners often say that they didn't really know what to expect, but they stepped into those sessions with an open mind and then received way more than they had ever expected. There's a few people that found their investor throughout these sessions, so they scaled their business immediately. There's also people referring the sessions to be life-changing because they had meaningful conversations that made them think in different perspectives that you can simply not do by yourself while being stuck in your own mind. You need people to reflect upon and to switch ideas or exchange ideas. There's people that mentioned that this was the most performative lunch they ever had. So they had a lot of meaningful conversations, networks that were increased to tap into. And they also felt energized, positively energized by making matter and making a difference, either by helping another person or being open to receive network knowledge or skills. Another example is Jiwan. He's an IT specialist, very intelligent person, but quite introvert. And he found it very difficult to walk up to people to talk about his new product. He was building and launching an app. I think it's called Dualier. But how to develop this app if you do not get any input from your work environment, from your potential customers? So he stated that because of these sessions, it became way lower threshold for him to reach out for people, to ask for help, to receive help, and also to help other people, of course. And because of these sessions, he met his investor. He created a new team around him of people that supported his mission of building this app. And because of that, he could also develop what they call customer development. He could illuminate who is his customer that are in need of his product that is not out there yet. And what kind of problems is he really solving? So is he providing the right solution for the right problem? All those things are very fragile topics, and you can only illuminate them when you become an anthropologist almost, when you step out of your biasness and really tap into the stories of the people, what they need and how they perceive the world. And H.O.S.T Transform, in that sense, also unlocks anthropologists, people to move beyond their own judgments and to be so objective as possible, to tap into this very valuable data you simply cannot get from a book or out of Google. Another example were sessions I provided in Google Delhi in Multinational, and the team that I hosted, they shared their worries or challenges about their work and life balance, that they felt the work pressure was pretty high and demanding. And next to that, and that really struck me, is that when I opened the floor to help one and the other, improving their work or their networks, whatever they would love to do, they were actually tapping into social projects. So how can Google, the resources we use at Google, help citizens that live in emerging countries finding toilets, for example. So using the technology for the good. I felt really grateful that I could contribute to that process where technology, high technology, resources, money as well, and social cause, impact meets. The H.O.S.T toolkit is very user-friendly. It's accessible for everyone, since you can customize it according to your own taste, and there's over 100 variations you can apply in your own work context. Furthermore, the exercises are self-explanatory. You know, we have instruction videos, how to unlock human energy, how to pull it off in very limited time, how to create this vital work environment. Then we have the O exercises, how to create openness for people to connect and engage and get involved in each other's work and create likability. And then we have the S exercises, how to unlock shared resources amongst people, so people start to share their network skills and knowledge that they didn't have or are complementary to one and the other. And then we have the final exercises, where the T exercises, and they really focus on how to unlock more impact even during your sessions that you provide. So it really teaches you how to breathe and reflect and create experiential learning on the spot. The practitioner's training online is very accessible for either people that are experts in the field, that are trainers, lecturers, innovators, change makers themselves or designated leaders, but also for people that are quite new in the field. This is because the program is very user-friendly, and you can decide your own learning curve. You can decide to be very hardcore and apply sessions on a daily basis. That would be great. But of course, you can also decide to use it now and then during a meeting, once a month. However, how fanatic you want to be is all up to you, and you can create your own learning pace in that sense. Furthermore, it's not time-consuming at all. For you to provide a 20-minute session, I think it will take you 40 minutes to adopt those basic skills, because you can run through the videos and through the checklists, so it's very easy for you to understand what's going on and to grasp the highlights, or to really go in depth and watch the whole video, which takes a little bit longer. And there's concrete examples, real life examples of all of our practitioners and of me. So we can all help you. Another reason why this program is really accessible is that you will become part of our community. We have a separate work environment for that online, and you can post your questions, you can share your experiences. Of course, you can also do that on our Facebook page, but this learning environment is more user-friendly. It's also protected from the outside world if you don't want everyone to see what you're about, which is fine. Also encourages you to to provide a first session when you feel a little bit tense or doubtful. If you see the other practitioners doing well, that also encourages you and stimulates you to move forward. We will even provide challenges, monthly challenges for you to feel encouraged to apply more sessions. You will adopt new capabilities in order to unlock leadership, and this is highly demanded by any organization out there, by every project, for people to self-organize themselves and to empower themselves to get things done. So you will be able to apply it in 20 minutes a session to any work context, in any situation, anywhere throughout the world even, because it goes beyond cultural differences. Another reason is because of that it provides you a lot of career and business opportunities, as we have already seen with our current practitioners, that they get new assignments within their current organization where they work as an employee, but also as a freelance trainer or coach, or as host even. And furthermore, you get a certification, so you will have on your LinkedIn account and on our website we will advocate that you are part of our community, so you get some branding, personal branding. You have access to the H.O.S.T Forum community, which is a self-organized community where people learn from one another and empower each other to unlock potential of the work environment. And furthermore, the other benefit is that we as H.O.S.T Forum invest part of our resources in social empowerment projects. So indirectly you're involved by supporting us. We support the other people again that we empower in our social projects. So I think that's also very humble and generous if you can be part of that. The toolkit is very accessible. You do not have to be an IT specialist or anything like that, since it's our pretty straightforward videos and it's very easy to access the community. You don't need any IT skills for that. Furthermore, you can tailor the program according to your own taste. Do you want to go very fast in learning? Do you want to go really in depth, grasp all the material and implement it into your work practice? Or do you just want to skim through some exercises and to apply some of the sessions on a monthly basis, or etc.? It's really up to you how fast and what pace you will learn and adopt these skills. Furthermore, this program is accessible for anyone that likes to empower themselves to unlock the potential of others. Of course, this can be designated leaders, but we also see people that work in different locations of organizations, or are having their own business in training or coaching or leadership, or self-organizing organizations or cultural change, change management. In all these areas there's people that find it really interesting to work with these skills. The H.O.S.T Forum Toolkit is very accessible and affordable for people that are freelancers or want to invest in their own development and obtain their own capabilities. And that's why we made this program affordable for mainstream people, as our mission is to apply leadership skills to as many people as possible throughout the world. If you compare it with leadership programs that are out there, you do not even pay 1/10 of the price. So in that sense, it's very affordable and the return on investment is easily made. We make sure that we help you with impact measurement. So after each exercise, you know exactly on a short term, what the impact was on the participants of your group. And this is very essential in every work context as of nowadays. People are really keen on performance and if you invest your time wisely, etc. So we make sure that you know how to pull that off and to make it a time investment and a life changer for everyone in a positive sense. there is a clear urgency for people to transform and do things in a different way. If you simply look around you and see how many people are burned out or stressed or feeling depressed because they feel disattached from their work identity, it no longer fits, or maybe it never had fit who they are, that can be really depressing and confusing. So that's the first thing. We really want to unlock potential in people in order for them to create their own future and their own possibilities in their work and around them. Secondly, the world is changing very fast. An average business cycle or product cycle lasts for 5 years. So businesses no longer have a guarantee to be successful for another 50 years because they monopolize a certain market. This means that they have to deal with a lot of uncertainty and pivot in the moment and work with various stakeholders, and also validate their products in a way that is custom based. What do the customers want? Or even better, how can customers create their prototype so they can really launch their product or their projects? So this is really creating, as they say, prosumers, people that consume your product, but also are producers of it, and maybe even make a business out of it. So this is a really new way of operating, and this requires a new method of engaging people and to tap into that uncertainty and to create possibilities in the moment. Third of all, we have to work in a more complex environment, more and more. Simply, the world is getting smaller. People travel all over the world to work with one and the other. They come from different backgrounds, work backgrounds, but also they have different nationalities, which is very fun and has a lot of potential. However, it also requires for us to adapt in the moment and to engage on a human level, and not so much. We do not longer have the time to do team building for another 5 weeks or something like that. You have to work together in an instant, make it happen, and go beyond your fears and maybe judgments towards one and the other's culture or background. Another reason for this program to be very urgent and contemporary in its field is that a lot of leadership development programs and change-making programs do not measure impact, they do not facilitate experiential learning, and they do not engage the management with its operations. With measuring impact, we mean short-term and long-term impact. If you do not measure any impact, you cannot leverage that either, the performance. So if you join this program, we will show you how you can do that in a very easy, fun and effective way. Second of all, experiential learning, according to us, is really reflecting upon your own behavior, about how you do and deal with things, and also on the behavior of others. And by this you can create collective wisdom, which is very resourceful for an organization to tap into. So you learn by doing on the job, and not by joining an Excel course or another workshop of WordPress or whatever. No, you determine your own learning curve, and you will illuminate your emerging knowledge in order to realize what are the skills that you actually need to move forward, to make that new project happen. And this is something you cannot determine on forehand. HR cannot do that, nor the director or any leader of a team. That comes intrinsically, and you have to trust on people to have that knowledge. The engagement between the management and the operation. Often management is a little bit suspicious about the operation, or the other way around, and the operation does not have any idea about their vision, strategy, or what is expected of them. If you engage management and operation in a continuous way, in an enduring way, those levels can cooperate in a way more fruitful way, what makes work way more fun and effective. So the way I see the future is that people can become more humble towards one and the other, and they can host each other in obtaining a positive mindset and facilitating a supportive work environment where people feel legitimate to tap into their potential, to discover what their talents is, and to really create their future and their own path, and by that live their dreams. And in the end, it takes a little bit of consciousness to become more aware of how we phrase a certain question or the gesture we make towards another that can make all the difference in the world.